What's up, y'all? It is Breezy. It is looks like 10:59, so we're gonna sneak this in almost on time. Realized we forgot a couple things. First of all, the Chattahooligan Pride Raiser will be starting the 1st of June. I don't think our first game is actually the 1st of June, but you get the point. That link will be in the show notes. Yeah, super, super important. Is a chance for us to raise money for local LGBTQ plus charities and celebrate goals. So it does good in the community and highly recommend making a pledge. And second, we didn't mention legendary founder of this podcast, one of the founders and former co-host and producer, and he's had many titles, Jay Buchanan and his lovely wife Rachel had their little baby. So you can kind of follow along with that and their journey on Instagram. They've been posting about it. But there's a meal train. So anyone that's gone through a serious life change like this knows that it's really helpful to have some food or a gift card or whatever else delivered. So highly recommend, if you have the means and can, maybe throw them a gift card so they can order some food and their life is made easier. Thank you guys. And we're going to start the show now. Peace.
Yep.
That's crazy. All right, let's talk about this on the pod. That'll be fun. We ready? Yeah, sure. Boy, that was a dangerous thing to do over top of my laptop. Hello, and welcome into the Section 109 podcast here from Studio Breezy. I am joined by a Premier League champion in Jim.
Let me just take this out a second.
You can go first. It's the only time you'll be welcome to have a red koozie on the podcast. Yeah. Congratulations, buddy.
Absolutely.
This is the one and only time that Arsenal gets some plaudits on the podcast. But cheers, buddy.
Never in doubt.
Yeah, you were never at all nervous. You were never at all nervous.
The official brick wall of human bodies,
the meat wall
podcast. It does appear to be red in England this time around.
It's also effective. I am also joined, as always, by Matthew. Going backwards, Sir Mix-a-Lot, the GOAT, Bubble Juan. Toby is terrified and under the couch, not only because he's antisocial, but because it was thundering recently. And we are here to talk about many things, including, and never again, about Jim's happiness. Miami away, Cinci away. Just go through a few more things you might talk about. So a rescheduled match, a women's team first practice, an amateur agreement that was signed, a summer of soccer that we can go through all the things about. It's going to be really fun. But boys, outside of the congratulations that we've given Jim, and we hope to give Matthew some congratulations next week because, his team still might be competing for a championship in the championship, if you know what I'm saying. How are the vibes coming off of 2 wins in a row away, and 2 wins that I said I would be happy with draws? And we got wins. How are we feeling, boys? Jim, I'll let you go first.
Oh, I'm happy. I was not. I didn't know how happy I was going to be for about 79 minutes against Miami, but I think seeing that out with a couple of penalties and then really controlling what was, I think, the best half, at least the best half we've played all year. In the game against Cinci, I think it's all things are good. We're playing pretty well. So
Matthew, how did you feel post Miami and then of course post Cinci in your adopted hometown of Cincinnati?
I thought both the Miami and Cincinnati games were really solid performances. I think you can make little quabbles about both of those games if you want to, but I don't think you really need to. I thought we were really good in how both of those games were structured tactically. I thought the personnel looked pretty good. I thought the changes, especially in that Miami game, I thought the changes were really productive. And
You mean the subs off the bench?
Yeah. And there was some tactical stuff that was really interesting too. And, I think, look, Miami, I don't know if they've won a game this season.
I don't believe they have.
But like Miami do that thing where they are, as a team, lesser than the sum of their parts. And so like it was really good to fight through some adversity in that. I mean, like, guy scores a banger. But clearance that could have been better. Guy scores a banger, right? Mm-hmm. There wasn't much else. Like ASA's got it for 0.55 in terms of XG. Ben Griffiths gives him slightly higher at 0.74. There really just wasn't that much going on.
Ben's is a fun model because it gives a lot of credit, just in general, to offense, which is fun. I'm not saying it's inconsistent. I think it's a good model, actually.
Yeah,
but
and I would be curious if some people think, because he tends to give a little bit more XG credit to that compared to ASA. I wonder if it's like slightly tailored for Next Pro, being much more of a wild league. I don't know. But yeah, I thought there were two really good performances. I would have liked to have seen us create more big chances against Miami. The two penalties count. There was one other one.
A perfectly good onside goal that Freed Sar scored.
There's also that gets called back.
Yeah.
So like overall, I really can't complain about Miami.
Way, that's not included in that almost 3 expected goals,
right,
including 2 PKs. But
right. So then you have Cincinnati, and I thought the guys just came out. And a lot of my Cincinnati stuff is all in retrospect because most of y'all know that I went to school up there at Xavier for 4 years of my life and had a lovely time seeing friends. And
we went to your college bar.
And we went to my college bar, Go Dana Gardens, and had a lovely day, which also meant that I was not of completely perfectly sound mind at kickoff. And so, I didn't think to check the Cincinnati lineup before the game. I didn't, have any idea like who they were playing, like what kind of age profile the group was, anything like that. And so then we walked out there and just beat the crap out of them, and I assumed that it was like, okay, well, it's probably a pretty young side. That's unsurprising. Cincinnati's first team has had some issues with injuries. They were in San Diego the night before. So it's not like, first team guys are getting dropped down the next day. Like they're on a cross country flight back. Right. And so I just didn't pay any attention to it. And then I was surprised that it was like, there were some young players, but it was an older group, for them. Our nemesis, Brian Dowd, was in goal.
It's not. He's both Cincinnati.
Not even close. And I feel that much better about what we were able to do. And, it is, we're just at the 10-game mark. So like, there's still some early days here. But I mentioned on our last podcast that, the underlying numbers for this group have looked pretty good. The results haven't always been there, but the underlying numbers have looked pretty good. And, 2 weeks, 2 games, 6 points. That's a really good stretch.
There's a couple fun things. The bottom 3 in the East right now, it is very bottom, Inter Miami 2. Hell yeah. Kind of our rivals.
Kind of, yeah.
I mean, just from on the field stuff. Look how Fareed celebrated. Like, that's our rival. One of our rivals. Carolina Core, 15th. Connecticut United, 14th. That's good shit. Huntsville is up in 6th, which is annoying. But not everything can be perfect. Also, I just opened up the West, which I hadn't looked at. Apparently, Houston Dynamo are very good. 8 wins, 2 draws, no losses.
Yeah.
Doing their best Crown Legacy impression, though Crown Legacy are a very different team now that Oloco has moved on.
He was back over the weekend.
I will say, and they crushed
Miami on Monday.
crushed Miami. I will also say the vibes are great. That Miami game I rewatched. I felt really because I didn't get to watch it live. I got to watch a little bit of it, but I was volunteering at a golf tournament. So rewatching that was like really good, and I felt like that last 20 minutes I was really heartened by us imposing our will, the way we imposed our will. Something that I think we did last year a bit, but I hadn't really seen this year when a veteran team just kind of little brothers some kids, even if they're not literally kids, and just takes care of business. That's really good. And then, Cincy, we just went out and dominated. Shout out to DBJ, who went Super Saiyan and could have had 4 goals in about 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Including he did score an absolute screamer. I couldn't have been happier. I rewatched the first half. I haven't watched the second half a second time, but man, what a good way to make a 6-hour drive. Matthew, do you want to take us through a little bit of the details of Inter Miami and kind of how the game shook out and what happened?
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting game. Miami still ended up with 11 shots. They were not of very large consequence. But they did get a nice chance that they converted. Cross came in and Cross came in and it's cleared, but it's not cleared that well. And it goes to the top of the box, and Zeltzer Zubita just rips it. I think first time, and just places it really, really well. And there's kind of just nothing Eldon can do. And
It's a disgusting finish.
And it's pretty early in the match, 21st minute, and that be happening sometimes. And it's just that is what it is. I thought we responded well. I thought we played pretty well. We created some decent stuff. Sometimes in games you need to change some personnel to just get that little extra thing. Maybe it's tired of legs. Maybe it's whatever. We bring on Yuval Cohen for his first appearance.
Welcome back, Yuval.
Yeah, it was nice to see.
Brought on Alexis Arua for his second appearance, and I thought those guys were lively and helped give some freshness and some brightness, and helped us put our foot on the ball, and we're able to play a little bit more.
Yep.
Miami, in an ideal world, they'll just play with the ball the entire game.
Also, Yuval, very familiar with that field.
Yeah.
Knows how the grass bounces.
Yeah. So, it was just one of those games where we kept knocking on the door, and then just finally you get a little bit of a break. And one of Miami's young center backs just puts his arms around Farid and puts him in a headlock and maybe chokes him and pops his head off. Or maybe it was just a jersey pull. And
in the story that we tell future generations, that will be it.
Yeah. And Farid goes down in the box. It's a
clear penalty.
A corner. Is it a corner kick or is it a free? I think it's a free kick. And
it's a corner.
It's a corner?
Pretty sure.
Cool. And referee points to the spot. Tate Robertson steps up, takes the penalty, converts it. Well taken. And then, we really turn up the dial. Some more subs get made. We end up in this really interesting. I think we end up in a back three, technically, with I think it's Eves and Farid and Nathan Kohler. But the way it was shaping, because we were pushing, it felt like Eves was still stepping into midfield and stepping wide, like he would as a traditional right back. And Nathan Kohler was actually lined up as the center back, and Farid is the left center back. And if you didn't know any better and just looked at it, Nathan Kohler was just playing as a right center back, and he's left-footed, so that caught my attention, and I had to kind of look back in and be like, oh, okay, I see what's happening here. DBJ's out playing the wing back on the left, and Garcia's playing right wing back. It was really, really interesting. And this is already coming off a game where, for the first time this season, Matthias Hanchard started as the left center back with Farid as the right center back. Mm-hmm. They have previously only played swapped when they were playing together. I thought that was interesting, and I don't know. I'm sure someone could tell me very specifically like why they did that and how it's resulted in take your pick. I don't know what, but like it seemed like it's been a really good change 2 games running. And then, a bit of quick play. I think it comes off of a throw in. Mango just wants the ball more, gets to the ball, gets fouled. It's inside the box.
So
penalty.
Good. Hello, elbow. There went that.
Tate is, I hope, is Toby down there? He's
Not
down
anymore.
he's down there for a long time now. Tate was subbed off. And spoiler alert, he looked fine against Cincinnati. And
boy, did he.
and so Farid steps up, takes the penalty, and converts it, celebrates. Just a great comeback win.
Yep.
No one celebrates a goal or a win like Farid against Miami. You can tell his former employer is not his favorite employer, or not his favorite group. Whether he would say that out loud or not, I love it. I love it so much. You also didn't mention that we scored a perfectly good goal.
Yeah, it was really kind of, I mean, I can only assume, giving the AR some benefit, that the goalie being as far out confused him. And I think the second defender, the one that actually plays him on, hit the AR may be screened. That he doesn't even see him. So it's I had to go back and
did you freeze frame it as well?
I went back. Yeah, I went back immediately. I'm like, what? That wasn't even close. And then I was like, well, it doesn't look close, Jim, because the keeper's way out. I'm like, wait a minute, let me look at it again. And then I'm like, no, that second guy. I mean, no, that's closer, but he's clearly onside.
I think he clearly missed one of those defenders being back, and he saw the keeper being out,
yes,
like you said.
And I think that threw him off. But I mean, it's a good goal, and so it was a shame.
Farid had an assist drawn. I mean, a penalty drawn, a penalty converted, and a perfectly good goal.
That penalty is one that you want called, but
doesn't usually get called.
It's off. It's way off the ball. It's 2 guys wrestling. I mean,
this is a classic Arsenal fan thing. Where you're like, that's never a penalty. There's no problem wrestling.
If you want me to go off on one thing, I will go off on this narrative that we've been fouling keepers all year. But
you have been.
No, shut up. But that was I called it soft, which means it is a penalty. It's just
you don't usually see it.
You don't see it that much. And
it's one of the things.
Matter of fact, the first I was like, where? Because I didn't even. Because it was like almost off the screen, and so I was like, I don't see anything, and I'm like, oh, he's calling this way over here.
It's one of the things.
So I don't know if the AR's got a call. I don't even
think so.
Yeah, I think the center rep probably doesn't even see that.
It's really frustrating to me that that never gets called.
Yeah,
because I think there should be a 10% more threshold for in the box versus outside of the box, not a 50% more threshold. And I feel like you get away with 50% more in the box.
Absolutely.
And of course, you never want to see that go against your team, but like I just think it's ridiculous. You see guys get dragged down and like they just wave it off because like I guess refs don't want to interject themselves. But that was one of those situations where to me it felt very justified and like how it should normally be called.
Yeah. And Mango makes a good penalty almost look like a dive.
Yeah, because he's trying not to get hurt because he
flew. I mean, like he flew. But immediately I was like, God, that looked like a dive. And then I realized none of the Cincy players said a damn thing. And the guy who fouled him was like, you could tell he was frustrated, but he was frustrated at himself.
Yeah, Miami knew. They knew.
Oh, was it Miami? I'm sorry, Miami.
Yeah. We know what you meant. Yeah. They knew. Yeah. It was one of those things where he's getting his ankle like black and blue if he leaves it in there longer or whatever. That was But
it looked initially like Mango. We don't need we don't need that. But
that's what happens when you get there first.
I'm just glad we got him because it would have been really it would have been unfair. It would have been unfortunate for us to get out of that with a draw.
So I actually turned on the game in like the 60th minute live. That's when I got home and was able to turn it on. And watching, I was like, and I watched just like go to, and like really punch them in the mouth. And then I was like, man, in my head, I was like, man, we really got out of there with like, because we don't do anything for like maybe minute 60 to minute 70 roughly in my head. So I'm like, man, we must have played like this all game. No, we also battered them in the first half.
Well,
in some moments, but in the second half,
after up until their goal, I think they had the better of the play. But after they scored, it was all us. I mean, 25 minutes was them. The rest of the game, I think we really. I don't know if we dominated, but it should not have been up to 2 penalties to win that game.
Correct. I was very pleased with how we played. Is what I'm saying.
I said online, this is like the kind of game that this group needed, because we've had some decent performances that haven't been rewarded.
Yes,
we needed a decent performance. We needed a little bit of luck. We got a little bit of luck in this game because we needed it because the ref screwed up. But still, we had a little luck, and I think the team really needed that. And I think they certainly followed that up with a really good performance.
With a continuation.
Yeah.
Matthew, why don't you take us through the Cincinnati play-by-play? Or goal-by-goal, rather.
So, Cincinnati, like, just this game happens real quick. You've got...
well, the lineup is different to begin with.
Yes. There's one big... Bless you.
Yeah, I guess that is reasonable.
There's one big change.
So, this game... so Alex McGrath missing from both of these games.
Alex McGrath has been missing for
not great
a month.
Yeah, something like that. Yuval Cohen starts, and this is the first time I've been really willing to say, okay, like, we are playing with 2 strikers. And you see some of these lineup graphics on FOTMOP or whatever that have like Alex McGrath playing as in the striker line. You've got Mango playing in the striker line.
Yeah.
And like, okay, I guess like, if they step up in the defensive portion of the match to press alongside, okay, whatever, like they're in the striker line. But like they're 10s. Come on now. They're 10s. But you play everybody get your drinks out so you can drink with me here. Like personnel is policy. And Yuval Cohen is much more of a forward than Alex and Mango are. And so that was the first like kind of really interesting change. Mango goes out wide to the left-hand side. The back 4 remains as it was against Miami. And then the big real surprising one was that Stevie Louis Jean makes his first start of the season.
Yeah.
And he's in place of Isaiah Jones, who does not even make the trip because of yellow card accumulation.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. So a real like kind of a surprising one. I think if you had asked me before the game and you were like, hey, Isaiah's got yellow card accumulation, what happens here? I think the answer a lot of people, myself included, would come. The conclusion is, well, okay, well, Yves goes back in the lineup, plays it right back. Tate goes to the 6, and we did get that, and from the 16th minute onward. But Stevie got the start, and was kind of great.
He was great.
Goal and an assist, or not goal, an assist and a hockey assist in his 90 minutes of work.
A lot of very normal looking like breakups, meaning he just made it look natural. He just kept taking the ball away. Like he was just in the same positions, like taking the ball away every few plays. Like it was just really seamless.
Yeah. I thought it was really good. First chance of the game goes to Alex Grell.
AK-23, baby.
And he did not miss.
Shoot or shoot,
man. And it was fantastic. A great example of how I've been talking about this year that we really We don't want to get into a situation where we're trying to slowly break down a bunker. We want to, even if we have possession of the ball, we want to be able to draw you in and then get vertical. And Luke plays a great ball in behind on rushing Alex, and then just a great finish.
He shapes his body just in the slightest bit, like he's either going to go far post or he's going to pass it across the goal, and he gets the goalkeeper to take a little like feint or step to that side to cut off and then he just either Matt says he went 5-hole. I couldn't see on the replays that I saw. I thought maybe he chipped it over his foot. It doesn't matter. He gets the little bit of movement and then just goes back through his body or across his body, and it's just. It's one of those where you're like, oh no, there's nobody there. Oh my God, he scored! Like, and then watching the replay, like it's just the most beautiful little feint with the hips.
Yeah, and he's 1-on-1, but like that's a tough angle.
It's a really tough
like,
angle.
It is a tough angle.
And that's a goalkeeper who has 1 point by himself against us.
Yeah,
like that's a really good goalkeeper who we have, I think, played 3 different times and failed to score against, or maybe got 1 goal total against.
Yeah, it's something.
Like this is not a slouch. I thought because of how that goal went in, and because I may have had a few beverages, that we must have been playing a 16-year-old. And then I see the replay and like see how he shapes his hips, because in live time I couldn't see the little movement there. And then I realized who it was, and I was like, oh, that's a really good goalkeeper who just got absolutely roasted, and also got roasted on the DBJ goal, which is coming up here.
Yeah, and then 20th minute, we play a big ball forward. And I think Cincinnati wins the initial interaction, but Luke is able to get to the second ball, heads it down to Stevie, plays it first time, kind of short diagonally, medium diagonally for DBJ, and then DBJ just goes to work and does a really good job of taking space, creating more space, creating a better angle, and. It's a great finish. My notes here have the shot of an XG of 0.03, and he turns that shot into on target 0.54. Just really, really well done by DBJ, who then could have scored 2 more in the span of 3 minutes. I did get, according to this model right here, Breezy, we were talking about this the day after, that shot is blocked. The second one.
Okay.
The one that feels like it should be a huge chance.
Yes.
That is classified as blocked. And then he has one more first-time curler, just goes wide. Just really, really good stuff. There were other chances created in this one. In this first half, you've got a cutback for Stevie that registered 0.15, and then we get to Tate's great job, another vertical ball that Tate plays initially. AK-23 just wants it more, wins the ball, earns a free kick. Tate does his wizardry shit and scores direct yet again. Great first half. Second half, there's not a lot to write about because it's 3-0. One dumb moment from a corner. I think it's a corner. Gets Cinci a goal back. But otherwise, the game was pretty well managed from there. We could have created more in the second half. We probably should have, but we didn't. And that's
anyone complaining about winning 3-1 because we should have created more in the second half can literally get fucked. You manage the game.
Yeah, right. And the game was managed.
Oh yeah, the best thing I can say about the game was I don't remember the second half because I really wasn't paying attention.
Because it didn't matter.
Because it did. Yeah,
we had one screw up, which let them get 1 goal back, and whoop-de-doo.
And I was more annoyed about that than worried.
Oh yeah, I could tell that the team was annoyed about it, which is good. But there wasn't another oh no. Remember last year when we would give up 1, or we would be up by 1, and we would just be waves of pressure, and it would just be. There's not that, especially in this game, but in this season, there's not a lot of waves of pressure against us. And in this game in particular, there was basically 0 big waves of pressure.
Yeah. Now, and so something interesting in this game, you want to guess our possession in that first half?
Oh, in the first half?
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea.
59%.
It was 56 on the game, I think, right?
Yes. This team, 59% possession.
Yeah.
That is
unusual.
56% overall for the game in possession is the highest mark that we have had in a match that did not include a red card, which really just means Columbus, since Rod was the coach. And I think I don't, it's one game. I don't think it means anything. Don't draw conclusions here, but I think it's interesting that, just the way that we played, we were able to control, we were able to dominate. It wasn't the same type of possession either. It was incredibly intentional. It had purpose. And unlike oftentimes in that 2024 season, we had the bodies to be able to get vertical and to be able to do stuff with the ball. And so that was really, really interesting.
So what I'm hearing you say is you're predicting total football for the rest of the year.
That's exactly what he's predicting.
No, but games like that really help balance out the games where you have 40%.
Yes.
I just want to win, boys. I don't give
Correct.
a flying
Correct.
you know what about any sort of just help me win.
So I think quality job.
Mm-hmm.
Quality job all around.
Yeah.
May that continue.
Amen.
So
that didn't
that's Cincinnati.
Yeah. Now, I don't. I'll be these were not against two of the better teams in the league, but hopefully these performances will continue.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be happy about.
Do what you got to do against the if you're going to make the playoffs, you have to make the ones.
Miami's certainly
lower
bad. I can't get a good read on Cincinnati. I think it's also they're just so inconsistent in terms of personnel. Their back line for the first team has had 75 different players play. I know they've run through short-term call-ups for those second team guys. They've been playing a 17-year-old. What's his name? Like Andre Triller or something like that. Andre. He's been a mainstay with that second team. He's been getting first team action because of the first team's backline issue. Scored a goal even a few weeks ago. He was out with an injury and missed the weekend. So it just they're in a place where they are right now, and that's a feature in this league, right? And so you have to go out and you don't get to control what the other team puts out there. You don't get to control if there's drop downs. You don't get to control if it's a bunch of kids. Drop downs doesn't always necessarily mean they're going to be better. Mm-hmm. Famously, we saw a couple of years ago, Colorado had a home game against Houston too. Dropped 9 first team players because the first team had an off weekend. And Colorado was the best team in the Western Conference that year in Next Pro, and they got shellacked just because they didn't give a shit. Sometimes if you're just there for a minute's exercise, you don't have that intensity that you need. And there is sometimes a very big gap in soccer in this country between the levels, and sometimes there's not. And intensity, and you see this in the Open Cup all the time. The intensity sometimes just means that if you don't bring it, you have a chance of getting beat, and then it's really hard to overcome once you go down. As an example, I was trying to pull up Cincinnati's underlying numbers here.
What I was gonna do here, I made some edits to the gym document. And by the gym document, we were looking at some XG stuff, and Matthew doesn't like any color or fun or labels. So Jim and I made our own view. If I could show you guys the difference, I guess I could. I probably won't. But I think there's a really fun thing. We're 10 games in.
Mm-hmm.
Before seeing this spreadsheet, would you think we were winning the XG battle or losing the XG battle?
Well, the way I have viewed the season, I would assume we were narrowly winning the XG battle.
I would have assumed roughly even.
Yeah.
We are winning the XG battle.
Yep. We are.
Through the first 10 games. 3 different models. 2 models, we have 10 full games of data. 1 model, we only have 3 games of data. We are winning the XG model quite handily. And Matthew had some cumulative stats that I don't know if he's pulled up for the rest of the league that he and I looked at, I guess, the other day before 10 games. I think it was through 8 games. We are 7 expected goals, which is a lot to the good. We have 20.2 expected goals in our favor and 12.69 expected goals allowed against, which is very good. That's on 1. That's on the ASA model. Ben's model has 20.42 instead of 22 or 20.2 rather, and then 6.25. So it's giving our defense even more credit in his model than ASA does. Or sorry, no, that's 6.25 difference. It's giving our defense less credit rather in the difference. Our offense is a little more credit, says we've allowed some more. And then if you look at just the last 3 games, which is a very small sample size, and the new model, which appears to be, that's not right, whatever I just pasted there. This one is giving us a little bit less on both totals. But point being is 3 different models have us winning the XG battle in however you shake it out. And while it does all come from Opta's data, which I think has some real problems and some real caveats sometimes, this is now enough data for me to not yell about data abuse or statistical abuse. Like, this is 10 games, and with that big a spread, like, you could quibble about some of the Opta data potentially. If you remember, we had Chris on the podcast, and he showed us some moments where he's like, look, here's some data input from another provider that's really bad, blah, blah, blah. This is a lot of data. Comparative. Like, a 7.5 expected goal difference here is a large difference. Even if you were to cut that in half, which would be a massive data error, we are still the better team most of the time.
Mm-hmm. And our expected points out of that should be 18. And so where are we now? 13?
Our expected points is
we have 16 points.
Is 1.83 per match.
Yeah.
How are you taking expected points out?
I'm just doing expected points by the winner of the XG gets 3 points
per game. That's
per
fair.
game. So it's 18. So 18 is our expected points, and we're at 16.
Mm-hmm. Which honestly isn't bad.
That is what surprises me a little more, because I have kind of been operating under this feeling that we were not getting the points we deserve based on our performances. And while, I mean, I guess factually that's true because our expected points is 18, that just means you have a draw where you had, and that's going to happen. So,
well, not only that, I mean, like, we won the last 2 games, and all of a sudden,
the points look a lot better.
The points look a lot better.
Yes, the last 2.
Now we dominated the last 2 overall, like in both result and on the spreadsheets. Mm-hmm. But I think also a lot of that. I
say we dominated Inter Miami on the score sheet, but we dominated them for 36.
The game is played on the spreadsheet.
I mean, we won. We got 3 points on both of them. I think my view was colored by the 1-1 and 2 start.
Yes.
Because we had a draw, a win, and 2 losses, and now we've reeled off 4 wins out of our last 6. Mm-hmm. And in the ones that we lost, in that Huntsville City, we were the better team, and in Crown Legacy, we were not the better team, but we were surprisingly good from what I expected us to be because of how good Crown Legacy had been. And so I think you look at our last 6 games, and we've really turned it on. And
look at our last 7. Look at that
other Huntsville game, we were also. I mean, we've only lost the XG battle against Chicago Fire, against Crown Legacy, I guess against Orlando.
Yep.
Against Crown Legacy. So we've lost the XG battle 4 times. Mm-hmm. We've won the XG battle 6 times.
Yeah, that's where I get 18.
So you got 18. I wonder how like the big, because there's
2 of those have huge variance on them too. Like 1.87 and 2.08 is the same thing.
Yes.
Like just
correct.
It is.
Yes, correct.
Something that's really interesting in the data, you've got 2 games against Crown Legacy in there. Okay, you've also got a game against Columbus Crew with when they're playing with 10 men.
Yep.
That, things like that can wash out over time. That's why you don't start looking really until 10 games. Something that's maybe the most fascinating. Early in the season, we beat Connecticut United 4-2. And the XG in that game, 3.68 to 1.16. That's in the ASA model. What if I told you that Connecticut is the 4th place team in the Eastern Conference in expected goal difference?
I would tell you that data isn't always perfect.
Well, we know that from the last several years of watching our own team.
I mean, like things happen. Like, you know, sometimes the data doesn't always translate, or like sometimes an entire team has the yips, right? Like things get weird. I thought, you know, I watched Connecticut's 90-15 this weekend, and did they create more stuff than Toronto? And was it better stuff? Yeah, I thought so. Did they still lose 2-0? Yes. Sometimes that just be happening.
Matthew, how does the XG table in the East look right now?
We're in second. It's Crown, us, New England, Connecticut.
Is that difference,
Red
or
Bull.
is that our XG4?
That's on cumulative XG difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So a team like Atlanta, who's pretty high up in the table right now, they're down in, what did I say? Crown, us, New England, Connecticut, Red Bull, Chicago, Orlando. Atlanta, they're down in 8th.
yeah. So we're third overall. We're third, you said, in difference.
Second.
So it's that to me because
Like Huntsville's 4th bottom, and they're inside the playoffs right now. They might be ahead of us still.
They are ahead of us. They're one ahead of us.
yeah.
But
so,
like that's encapsulated, and they've picked up
yeah.
5 points against us, despite, you know, kind of losing 2 games by 2 goals basically in XG, which like I have nothing to complain about. We won 3 games against them last year.
Yeah, we can still complain about it. It's perfectly fair. It's perfectly fair to
I'm
bitch
not.
about
No,
it.
no, no. I'm not doing that. I'm
There's
not
no
doing
need
that.
to be consistent.
This is 3 guys on a podcast,
What are
Matthew.
you
There's no
talking
need.
about? There is absolutely no reason to be rational.
I'm gonna do it, man.
This also goes to our last 2 seasons, though, and it is interesting. So we are lower in the we are early in points, but we are lower in the table this year, while quote unquote playing better. I think eye test and in the spreadsheets for sure. And the last 2 years, we have, granted, we missed the playoffs barely. We were basically in the same position we are now 2 years ago. Last year, we got a home playoff game, and our numbers were objectively much poorer. Matthew, did you do the per game XG numbers for 10 games in?
For
The other day, you and I talked when we were 8 games in, and we were basically like 0.3 to the good defensively and 0.6 to the good offensively compared to last year.
On that.
We'll come back to it at some point. But basically, if you look at the difference, our offense has gotten much better. These are statistics only and advanced analytics, so who the fuck knows
Talk about
what's
the
real.
average XG.
Yeah.
Well, it's you just move the decimal point over. I mean, so it's 2 point.
No, we
2.02.
comparing to previous years.
Comparing to previous years. So he had last year's number for the cumulative for the season, what we allowed per game, and then he had cumulative what we scored, quote unquote, in the spreadsheets per game, and then he had this year what we were allowing and what we were generating.
Oh, okay.
And I do think like that's an interesting thing to look at some point. Also, I do have, and I continue to have a theory about Next Pros. I think the data is noisier in Next Pro than it is in most leagues. Because I think, and this is my current theory, we'll see what happens. I think you look at the developmental nature and the highs and lows and swings of performances, and it just doesn't equal out the same way. At some point, hopefully somebody smarter than me, or maybe I'll get the right data set to do it, I can compare Next Pro's expected goal difference table-wise, as an example, versus the top 5 leagues in the world, and see, like, does the table more often equal in the top 5 leagues in the world, the expected goals
I think it's
difference
also
table?
reasonable to mention that there's like a scheduling imbalance in Next Pro.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That probably matters in ways that we don't 100% understand. If you play, I can't believe I'm going to say this part, but if you are playing Crown and this year's version of us 6 times in a year, if you're in the Southeastern Division, you might end up with the worst score relative to someone who's playing, I don't know, Philly Union 2. And let's pick somebody. Let's pick Cincinnati. Because I looked at them, they're like 4th bottom or whatever.
Yeah. Well, on the cumulative thing, you're right with that. And on the cumulative thing, there are 2 teams at 9. There's a bunch of teams at 10. And there's several teams at 11. That also messes with your cumulative numbers as you go through the XG table too.
Oh, I would never do that. I always switch it to per game.
Oh, yeah. So you're just going on per game?
Oh, yeah.
Look
Yeah.
at you.
Yeah, I don't fuck around.
That's good. That's good. Then we're really in second. But also,
No, we're not in second.
it just matters how. Yeah, true. It also matters, as Jim and I both said. I believe your quote was when we last podcasted. How are the vibes? Annoyed.
Yeah.
Annoying, because we weren't picking up the results that we thought we deserved, or we hoped that we deserved. I would probably
But
be a better way.
but see, out of 10, we kind of are.
We are now.
8. Yeah, with the last 2 wins, we're close to where we quote unquote should be. The concern, the overriding concern still that I have, although the last 2 games maybe making me feel better, is that we're giving up more goals than we should be. Based on how I think the eye test our defense has played. And so that still concerns me, because in here we're at almost the 8 goal difference, and we're at a 2 overall. We've given up
Actual goal
16
difference.
goals, I think.
Yeah, it's 2.
Yeah, and so
We've given them an extra 2. I think that will even out, but I get what you're saying.
So. But again, I think it's last year. Again, we've talked about this. The 2 things that are a little bit different is we're not blocking the shots that we did last year, and last year our keeper stood on his head. Now he's not done anything
Egregious or bad. He's just not facing as many shots, which is awesome.
Yeah, which is overly good. So that, I hope, kind of comes down that we regress to the mean a little bit, and we don't give up as many goals.
Yeah. I mean, Crown Legacy has a plus 20 goal difference, by the way.
We are 6th in the Eastern Conference in shots allowed. Which is a considerable improvement. I will point out.
Considerable improvement from
Yes.
last year, but still not. We're not like limiting all the shots. Wait, we're 6th best or 6th worst?
6th best.
Okay, so we're right where we are in the table as far as shots allowed. Not that those things necessarily have to correlate, but like that's so much better. We were, I think, 3rd from bottom last year in shots allowed.
We're 9th in number of shots taken per match in the Eastern Conference. So one thing I think it's reasonable to point out, if you're wondering why, like sometimes why it feels like we don't get a result here or there, I think the big chances that we've created more big chances, and I don't have this in front of me, but I'm gonna wager it's gonna be top 4 in the Eastern Conference. And if you create fewer chances in a match, but you create more big chances, you are more likely to stack up XG. But if you don't convert those big chances, you are more likely to be to have fewer goals. So that's also something to watch for. Like, can we continue to create big chances? Can we also add more chances over time? And create small chances, create big chances, and do a bunch of mediums along the way.
Yeah, agreed. Shall we move on, boys, to other things?
Sure. Why not? Or if we want to go back and talk about the Premier League again, we can do that.
No.
I don't know I don't think the Premier League exists.
I'm just saying there are options we have.
I mean, I don't think the USL's kicked off their Division 1 anyway. So, women's team first practice. If I could do a drop here of the girls are back in town instead of the boys are back in town, like I do in the touch tunes whenever I'm in a place.
Yeah, it seems to be that.
I'm sure AI could do that for you.
Jesus,
Matthew's going to kill me.
Just think of all the water you've used and all the trees and electricity you've used with your AI.
It's everything's going to shit.
I don't think we've had any new roster announcements. Nothing official, we'll put it that way. I'm checking the roster on the website right now just in case, or on the on
the thing that will not be said again.
Shut up. It's fine.
You shut up.
It's no big deal. Yeah, I think maybe a couple of academy players. Maybe they were already mentioned. So look, women's team starts soon. I think the first game is on Thursday, a week from
Tomorrow.
A week from tomorrow, assuming this drops
Probably
on Wednesday.
It'll drop today. Probably the day you're listening to it, most likely. I would guess most people will listen tomorrow.
Okay, so a week from
I'm
tomorrow.
totally guessing, but this will release sometime on Wednesday unless something crazy happens.
That's May 28th. It's a Thursday. It's at Knoxville 867 or 865 Alliance. Big game. That's a good team. That's a strong first test. I don't
Yes,
know
it
if they
is.
will. I don't know if they play this weekend or not. So and that kind of thing sometimes matters in this league. You want more practice time, getting your group in, but you also sometimes want to play matches to win and get some continuity. So a big opportunity for the team.
Yeah. The girls are here, they're practicing, and like we're gonna know one game does not make your whole season. However, we need to start with a win. We play them
That
twice.
normally doesn't. That's normally not true, but in this division,
In this division, one
could be
game
true.
truly could decide our whole season.
Yeah.
Assuming the WPSL does really dumb shit like only have one team come out of
Almost certainly.
so let's go.
did you see the power rankings? What WPSL put out?
I'm usually a very big hater of power rankings, but I loved those. I thought those were the most accurate ones I've ever seen. That was CFC Women #1 in the
Well,
Southeast.
we dropped one because Pensacola, I think, won their first game, and so now they're first. But still, putting us.
Told you power rankings were bullshit.
Well, putting us at 1 or 2.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense for where we finished last season.
Sure,
It doesn't make a lot of sense because no one has played a game.
exactly.
And I was
Power rankings are stupid. Preseason power rankings are stupider.
amen.
Preseason power rankings for amateur soccer is stupid.
Would you say that preseason power rankings are the NISA of power rankings?
Yes.
That's so Nisa.
You just wanted to do that.
I did. That's correct. Cool. Everybody make that next game. Also, the other thing is you can have a real difference in a women's away game. You can intimidate because they're not used to playing in front of fans. Like, I'm not saying intimidate in any weird way, but just like having fans there
You will
cheering.
certainly annoy the other team's parents.
Oh yeah. If you like getting dirty looks, come with me to Knoxville. I promise you, we could be totally family friendly, not say any bad words, even when bad things happen. We definitely don't do any organized cursing anyway, and you can still get the dirtiest of dirty looks just for existing and wanting your team to win. It is going to be beautiful.
Yep.
Okay, we had some rescheduled matches, which I should just waited for
That's
this.
so Nisa.
You can't be rescheduling matches middle of the season. What are we
First,
doing?
like the Orlando match was supposed to be played in August.
Yes.
And now we're playing it in May.
Yep.
I mean, what the hell if it's from one weekend of August to another weekend in August, or it's from a Saturday to a Sunday.
I hate
Okay.
them both desperately.
But this
Matthew and I are going to the CST that weekend because it was an off weekend.
the what?
It was an off weekend, an off CFC weekend.
TST.
So we're going
Oh,
to the
TST.
the TST.
I thought you said CST, and I had no idea what that was.
Central Time Zone, which is a little dyslexia in the middle.
Yeah.
And so, look, we'll watch the game on our phone or whatever, but like, it's annoying because like that was an off weekend. And then the New York City one is really fucking annoying. Hey, league off is in New York City. Get fucked. We had to buy new plane tickets and book an extra night of hotels because you guys changed a game time. Like, have the forward planning ability to not change things by 3 hours.
And a borough.
And an entire borough. Like, it is.
Oh, where's it being played now?
St. John's in the Bronx.
Okay.
It was at
Or,
Icon.
or Queens, whichever one.
It was at Icon
Queens.
Stadium or whatever before that. And like the venue change is extremely annoying, but I do understand like things can happen. But you move the time in the venue. Like, I assume CFC was not flying out that night because we're probably staying till the next day. But like Matthew and I were flying out that night, and our tickets were not refundable. So we bought tickets the next day, and So I buy the tickets, Matt buys the hotel, and so like we did it because we're going to be in New York. And we're going to go to New York and fly home during the game. But like, it's very frustrating that they don't have the integrity and they don't give a fuck about fans. So they just change whatever they want willy nilly anytime they want. And like, I guess the only worst part than this would have been, because this was in June, would have been to change it a week beforehand. Mm-hmm. But like, so I guess kudos for changing it now if I'm being a little bit nice, but it's just, don't do that. Like, have your shit locked in. You have contracts with venues. care enough about fans. And what if player families were traveling up and traveling back? Like there was plenty of flight options that night for red eyes or semi red eyes. And so we were flying back that night with zero problems, and then we couldn't anymore.
Yeah. I will note the Orlando one is
Don't do this.
Is interesting. It takes Orlando is scheduled to be on a Wednesday in August, in between an away trip to Toronto and a away trip to Crown Legacy. So like that one probably does help us a bunch in terms of the travel schedule, the travel tempo, and the recovery time. That potentially makes our stretch run just a tad a little bit easier on the guys. So, yeah. And, I wasn't going to Orlando on a Wednesday, so I personally don't care that much. Except, fuck you, MLS Next Pro.
Thank you. Okay, next bit of news. Austin Bradley, our new number 8, who I think might be 8 years old, signs an amateur agreement. Just kidding, but the pictures of him as like literally an 8-year-old of Richard Dixon, however old he was, were adorable.
Yes.
This is an amateur signing, which is not the first in our history. The release was a little bit confusing, but it is the first in our MLS Next Pro history, which does rule and is really cool. And I didn't see this coming. So I don't know if this kid, I assume this kid is one of the kids with the U20s like lighting it up, but this rules.
No,
he's the next MLS Next player.
It's our first MLS Next to MLS Next Pro.
So, he's not playing with the U20s?
I don't think so.
No, I don't believe so.
That's mostly a different group.
Yeah, he's an academy. He's an academy player. He's MLS Next.
So I assumed there were academy players also playing with the U20 because U20 just means under 20.
Thank you for that. For those of you who didn't know what the U meant.
It means over in the German spelling.
Yeah,
I just assumed he was getting minutes with the U20s playing against grown men, and now we want to see him.
Not as far as I know. I mean, he's only with the MLS Next squad.
Okay, hell yeah. Even I guess cooler. I don't know. Does he now get minutes with the U20s? Do the U20s just not count for a player that's how old is he actually?
15.
So can a 15-year-old not play with the U20s, but they can play with the senior team?
Well, I mean, is it a matter of can or should? I mean, like
either. Like I'm not criticizing the kid coming to ours. I just assumed he was like working his way up the like elite team ladder. So that's interesting.
I don't think it necessarily like works like that all the time. Like there could be there's probably a reason for wanting him to be with the MLS Next group most of the time, and then he's probably hopping in. I would assume he's been hopping into training already. But maybe they wanted to sign the agreement so he could start hopping into training while also like being registered on the MLS Next level. I don't know. I will note here, he's been coached by, among others, 2 CFC legends in his academy days, Cameron Woodfin and Richard Dixon.
That rules.
And so now he's got, Richard obviously is the at the first team level.
Hey, the picture did not decapitate Toby. He's still up.
So that is he's a freshman. He's finishing his freshman year in high school.
Yeah,
that rules. I love it. I think it's very, very cool. So, I still have questions on why he wouldn't get minutes with the U20s.
I don't know if he is or not. Don't really know.
Yeah.
I mean, and I also wonder how a U20 team could be that good. I don't know, they're in like they're going to get promoted probably another division, but they're 8-0, and if we're not even playing our best MLS Next kids, like woof, boy, those other UPSL players are getting killed.
They really might want those MLS Next players playing on the MLS Next schedule.
Yeah,
because those games happen, oftentimes the same. They're playing the same weekends, so. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think the MLS Next coaches would want their players playing in the U20s, I guess, is what I would think.
Maybe that's a good question to invite some youth folks on during the summer.
That just doesn't make sense to me. You guys might be right. I think you'd want your kids to, when possible, play against grown men. That'd be the whole point of having a U20 team, is to get actual opportunity to play against men. Because that's not a U20 league. That's just a league that exists with grown men too. And I would think you would want your players to get some minutes or some chances to play when ready against grown men, because that is a thing you see in Sunday League. As an example, you'll see, I say at HPC, like you see kids that are way more talented, but they're 17, get little brothered by a not near as good 35-year-old.
Sure.
And I think it's big for development when you see those kids take the step up. We talked about Gavin Turner. Remember talking about his physical abilities and his physical size for his age last year. Like, I don't know. I just assumed in my head, which is clearly you guys know more about youth soccer than me.
No, I think it makes sense if you're talking about the international game. Like if you're talking about England, you would want a 15-year-old playing with the U18 or the U21 or U23. I just think the UPSL is. I don't know enough about that team really. It just feels different than what you might expect for a normal academy. To me,
it is one thing that I don't know is there a requirement for, say, players in the MLS Next system to have academy or amateur agreements with the MLS Next Pro sides? Like that could be a feature of the thing and why we want them to hop into training some. Maybe not necessarily step up to playing against grown men, although I wouldn't be surprised if when MLS Next weekends are not occurring, if he ends up getting some appearances or whatever. But it could just be a training thing. And oftentimes, especially early on, the kid's 15, so like this could be a 2 days a week or a 3 sessions a week type deal, especially early. Like you never want to really. I don't want to assume anything when it comes to youth players. So,
yep, who knows?
Yeah, well, it would be really interesting to talk to somebody from the club about how they see the flow of player flow between MLS Next, the U20s, and MLS Next Pro.
Maybe this is a good
Because
opportunity.
I don't know if there are kind of parallel paths. That there's one path that's MLS Next to MLS Next Pro, and then if they're not going to do that, then yeah, we can use them in the U20. But that's kind of a separate.
Yeah, I'm just dumbfounded that it's separate. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying I'm dumbfounded that it's separate.
Yeah, I don't.
Why have it?
I think you got to remember. There's also. We only have, I think, 3 age groups right now of MLS Next. Like there is no like U18 team.
So why wouldn't they play with the U20s? Like you see the logic of my thing,
I do.
right? Like,
I don't.
Because it makes sense for when you think about it in academy.
How the fuck would you go to the first team instead of the U20 team? Like if you're good enough to step into practice with the grown men being paid to play professionally, you would be good enough to play with the U20s. If you're not good enough to play with the U20s, you could not
because they may not be able to if they're a part of MLS Next.
Right. I get that there may be some rules I'm not aware of, but the logic of this doesn't.
Well, but the logic of the fact that we have a U20 team, but we can't bounce players up and down between our next pro team and the U20 team doesn't make sense in the scope of world soccer, but it makes sense. It makes some sense. It makes
sense because of NCAA eligibility things.
Well, yeah, and other professional, kind of professional things. So it's just
that's a U.S. soccer registration thing.
Yeah,
and it's also an NCAA.
I think we have decidedly as a country come to the conclusion that NCAA rules do not matter anymore. Anything goes.
I mean, I think you have to have the money to sue, and then nothing goes.
Unless it's the University of Alabama basketball program.
My friends,
you guys were doing crimes.
We live in the great state of Tennessee, where I assure you, all you have to do is find ChatGPT to write you a lawsuit, and it will get accepted.
Matthew, we don't use AI.
We wrote the damn law in Tennessee to make sure that we could do anything. I shouldn't say we.
So it would be great to have somebody from the club to help us understand how those things fit together, because they don't fit together like you might think they should fit together.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to...
It is likely that at a certain point they will probably be a little bit more seamless in how they fit together, but we do have an age gap as we're building out the program.
Do we have 3 age groups? Do we have U13? Are you 13s, 14s, and 15s?
I don't want to speak on something.
Yeah, I don't remember. I know, but you're right. I know we don't have the U19 or U18, U19 team yet until the 15-year-olds get that old. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on to CFC announces Summer of Soccer. We have a bunch of large soccer events. Matthew, why don't you, since you wrote this section, take us through this?
Yeah, so Summer of Soccer. It's in part, this is a partial list, believe it or not. But these are the ones that are surrounded around games. So you've got Margaritaville night and a 5K fun run. That's in conjunction with the Chattanooga Track Club.
Are we running during the game?
No.
I won't be running
Do we
at
run
all.
around?
I won't be running at all.
That's
The concourse. They just Topher just leads them with the flag.
Right, just doing laps around.
That's June 6th versus Red Bull New York 2. We've got Girls and Women in Sports Night. That's June 12th versus 865 Alliance. The official mission is to try to break the WPSL attendance record.
Which is what, like 1,300 something?
I don't know.
Okay,
I think it's like 2,300.
2,300.
We've got the following day, CFC Sidewalk Sale and Fan Fun Day.
What are we selling on the sidewalk?
Stuff, I think. That's at the CFC HQ. Time is TBA. I think that's kind of like the grand kickoff / soft
Are we
opening.
selling limited edition things from CFC? Because then I would definitely be there.
For you, Jim? Yes.
I guarantee you there will be, if you get there early enough, with how stock works, there'll be something that's limited edition.
The Chattanooga Zoo is joining CFC. And
You
there will
think the Lions and Tigers are going to play for CFC?
possibly. And
Bears.
there'll be also a yacht rock
Too slow.
dance party on the pitch post match.
Honestly, that part's the thing I'm most excited about so far of all of these things.
Is that why you have the
Yacht Rock
mustache?
dance party? Yeah,
the
dude.
mustache?
I'm gearing up for the Yacht Rock dance party. I have been rolling around windows down. Now that it's getting hotter, I'll stop doing this. But like when the weather's been perfect, I've been rolling down, blasting Spotify Yacht Rock.
Chris Christopherson? Not
No,
Chris
it's-
Christopherson. Chris, I can't remember his name.
It's been a lot of Michael McDonald.
Yeah, that'll work too.
Anyway, that's June 27 versus Chicago Fire 2. And then probably the big one, the America 250 celebration with CFC and the Lookouts, soccer and post-match fireworks at Erlanger Park on July 4.
Yo. So that is a really big one, especially because America's pastime. Big America celebration on the 4th. And some soccer instead?
Now, if the Lookouts and the CFC were playing at the same time, that would be fun.
Can you imagine they played a doubleheader?
No, I'm talking about literally at the same time.
That wouldn't be fun. That would be terrifying.
I will wait until I'm at the park to render judgment.
Well, we should talk about, because I'm sure there's some thoughts about this. We can finish out the next two, then go back to the CFC playing in a baseball stadium, because I think that there's some fun here. Mm-hmm. And if our text messages have been, I don't know if there's been a lot. The text messages have been blowing up, I think, when that came out, because it was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Matthew, the next one.
The Creative Discovery Museum is joining CFC. And there will also be a fiesta and salsa dance party on the pitch post match, July 18 versus Orlando City B.
Is that like a salsa dance or like a chips and salsa?
I think it's a salsa dance.
One of those I can participate in. One of them I'm going to sit on the sidelines for.
And then closing out the summer is Ride Your Bike Night on July 25 versus Philadelphia Union 2.
Okay,
boys. Jim, I take it you're not super excited about playing in a baseball stadium.
I mean, I don't want to be. I think I like the park as a baseball park. It's pretty. It's nice. There are a lot of cool options for things. I don't know. I will reserve my thoughts until I'm at the stadium and watching it happen.
What are your fears?
I don't like. I don't know how they're going to handle the infield, and I imagine I know how
Grass.
what they're just gonna.
They'll tear down the mound, put in grass.
I know the mound.
Well, they'll tear down the mound. They'll put in grass, or not grass. They'll put in turf, probably. I think realistically, or it'll be grass or turf.
It'll be grass.
It has to be grass.
Rest of the field's grass.
So they're laying down sod.
I mean,
Okay. Yeah.
They're doing it for the World Cup.
So what is that supposed to mean?
I just mean there's a lot of sod getting laid all over.
Yeah. Well, I said I will reserve. The stadium is set up. It's a nice setup for it. if you're going to put soccer in a baseball stadium, that stadium,
There are worse options.
yes, there are much worse options. It was annoying to have to kind of figure out seats and that kind of thing, but that's fine. I'll reserve.
You just gotta start sitting in 109.
I'll reserve.
Where's your ticket? Your ticket. You have a blue seat ticket, right?
Yeah,
But you're
but I
in
don't
109
sit-
a lot now.
I don't sit in. I haven't sat in my seats for like 4 years. So yeah, we have seats right on the midfield stripe, but because that's where my wife wants them. But I don't ever sit there. So now I go upstairs because after setup I'm like gross, so I don't want to sit with people. So
Sometimes I see you in the back of 109 briefly.
I have been there earlier this year, but yeah. But now I'm going up.
But
to
if
the-
you had your ticket at 109, it would have just seamlessly transferred to 109.
Well, okay, but I'll reserve judgment. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer because I think it's an interesting idea. It's cool to be partnering with the Lookouts. It's a nice thing to do, but soccer in a baseball stadium is not. I told somebody I've put up with football lines for 15, 16 years. I can put up with a baseball field for a game.
Do you guys think this means we're going to move into the Lookout Stadium permanently? Is a
No.
question I got in my text messages.
No, I don't. I think people that are looking at that are probably just reading into it. I do think it I just think you should take it for what it is, which is Lookouts were gone for 2 weeks around
Yeah.
4th of July. They like doing fireworks for 4th of July, and sometimes fun things can just be fun.
And I think Erlanger has to have some. I bet
I would
Erlanger
think so.
has to have something to do with it. And
Probably didn't hurt.
yeah, but no, I don't think. I think they'll be like, "Oh, this is a trial run for a move to." I don't think so. I mean, first
I will
of all,
be curious how
would
it
have to
goes.
be, it would have to be more expensive. I would think.
Surely.
But there's also way more possibilities for revenue at Erlanger Park than there are at Finley.
True.
In terms of ticket packages and just upsells,
yeah.
be upselling tickets and stuff. So it's intriguing. I really, really do like the park. Again, I'll reserve full judgment until I actually see a game in it.
Did
And how are they going to? So they're going to video it from the right field. There's a camera spot in
Yeah.
right field, so it's going to feel like I don't know. It's going
gonna be
to
off
It's going
center?
to feel like a packed house.
well, yeah, but it's going to look weird on TV. The 5 people who watch it online are going to be like, "This is strange." But when I rewatch it, I'm going to be annoyed. But
I also will point out the thing that we haven't said yet that I think maybe some people have thought or haven't thought. If UTC ever leaves Finley Stadium, which they have threatened to do repeatedly over the last 20 years, I'm not saying they're going to, but if they ever did, or if CFC ever left Finley Stadium would be drastically into the red.
yeah,
If either one was to leave, I think UTC would be more likely at this point with their threatened open. I'm not saying it's likely, but let's say the 1% chance, whatever it happens. So there's a good chance, I think, that the county look at them selling off current assets, might look at Finley Stadium along with the city and say, hey, we can't dump millions of dollars into this. Finley Stadium, sell to a developer, put up condos, whatever. I do think it is worth knowing if you can play in a baseball stadium.
No, sure.
If bad things were to happen. And I think for future planning purposes, it is not ideal to play in a baseball stadium. And if we're going to move out of Finley Stadium, I would want it to be into our own stadium. Or, as I've said before, my heart wants a right sizing of Finley Stadium. But if neither one of those things were possible or not on the timeline that we wanted, the fallback option, if it goes well, of a brand new park that has been built with at least some idea of being able to be oriented for soccer. If you look at the rendering,
oh yeah, you can definitely see it. Yeah,
that matters, I think, for long-term planning and for the health and sustainability and viability of CFC, because I would rather play at Erlanger Park, I think, reserving judgment, as you said, rather than a local high school, as an example.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
There's another thing that was floated out in a text message to me, which is like, what if CFC built a stadium and we had a stadium district next to Erlanger Park? And to that I say, I cannot imagine a worse parking situation. Now that they have gotten rid of AT&T Stadium downtown, I cannot imagine a worse parking situation. I would love to have a purpose-built stadium. I would just arrive 4 hours before the game and leave 4 hours after the game.
Have you been to a Lookouts game yet? Have you been to a Lookouts game?
I have been to one, yeah.
Yeah,
Matthew and I went to one together.
Okay, yeah, the parking situation there is
We Ubered and it was rough.
less than optimal.
I can only imagine. We were
But
walking.
it's got to get better. But
We also made the poor choice, especially for how we like to consume the Lookouts, of going on the Star Wars night.
May the 4th be with you. I don't think it was actually May the 4th.
May the 1st be with you.
But it was Star Wars night. And I mean, I had a lovely time, but it was, I could imagine that if I had driven that day instead of taking an Uber, I would have been so mad.
Yeah, it's rough. But hopefully it'll get better. But
Hopefully.
right now it's rough.
And they have a lot of work to do around there to make it cool and make it better. And I have a moderate amount of faith that something will happen. I don't know the ins and outs of that. But I also will reserve some judgment, as Jim said, to know if it's like good or bad, but I am excited for a one-off. If we announced that we were playing the second half of our season there, I'd have a lot more questions. But a one-off for July 4, like, hell yeah.
Well, from a marketing standpoint, I mean, I think it'll get eyeballs. And
how many people do you think this will be their first CFC game or their first CFC game in a very long time?
I don't know. I mean, I don't even know how what's the capacity? Do we know what? I don't even know.
8,500?
8,000 capacity.
8,000.
Do you think we'll sell it out?
No, I don't think we'll sell it out.
What day is July 4?
Saturday.
I think we'll sell it out. I think we'll sell it out.
Okay.
The novelty and a Saturday, I think we'll sell it out.
I just need a limited edition
And sell
baseball
out.
cap.
Yeah, you do.
/Lookouts baseball cap.
Sell it out. Like, everyone knows
Are you a sellout or?
I was going to say a Nashville Predators sellout.
Nashville Predators sellout.
Who had like 100 straight, but it's...
8,000. I mean, 8,000. Yeah, that's... I mean...
That's a lot.
I know, but
it's a one-off.
I know. Think of like our Atlanta United matches, or the preseason one was like 7,500.
I think we can sell it out. July 4, Lookouts. Like, who knows? But I think there's still enough buzz especially for the first season of Lookouts' new stadium. Now people haven't gone.
Yeah, the new stadium. I think the new stadium is, again, it's a really nice stadium. It's a really nice stadium. So I hope we do. I hope we sell it out.
I genuinely think a lot of people, like north of 1,000 people, will go to their first ever CFC game, or maybe their first CFC Pro game. Maybe they'll have gone to one 10 years ago or whatever. But like, I just think you're gonna get some crossover, which makes this very interesting for people getting their first introduction to CFC potentially.
I think you should look at the all of these events kind of as one clear mindset of and scroll up for me a little bit so I can just see them all. You've got a bunch of different things and a bunch of different groups all involved. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a lot of emphasis on bringing people to matches that may or may not have ever experienced matches before, and may or may not ever be converted into regular attendees. But if you get them to one, maybe you get them to two next year. You want to convert casuals to regular attendees, but you also want to keep reminding casuals over and over and over again that it's a great night out for the family. It's a great night out for you and your friends. Like that it's always a good option for your weekend, or for whatever night it is. So like riding your bike night, a 5K fun run, a couple of dance parties. Like I think there's a clear emphasis on just trying some shit.
I love it.
But there's no disco. Where's the disco?
We just did that for 90s party.
And if you think about it, you're combining America 250, and you're combining, a brand new, highly publicized new stadium for the Lookouts, which is very popular right now. You're combining America's pastime with the World's game. All in all, remember that the World Cup is on the continent this summer. The thing I did not mention in any of this is that there are 6 watch parties for World Cup games that have also been announced. And those are the 3 games for the USA in the group stage and the 3 games for Spain in the group stage. I just kind of officially taking the mantra of, well, we are adopting Spain as well because we are hosting them in town.
Was it
as their base
announced
camp.
where those are going to be? Are they going to be at the?
You're going to make me do this.
Yeah, they have announced them.
4 of them are at some place, and
The
2 of them are at somewhere
The
else.
U.S. games, I think, are at tailgates, and the other games are at White
Oh,
Duck.
that's right.
It's-
Yes, that's right. They did.
It's a 4-2 split, and I think one of the
U.S. games is at White Duck.
yeah,
Yeah, that's going to be great.
it just
that's right.
it
I
just
saw
depends.
that. That's all. Never mind.
It's something
I saw
like that.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be fun, and fun things should be fun, and
Yeah.
Well, it should be. It's going to be interesting to see.
Remember the summer that I became a CFC fan? If you guys remember the last summer, we had a big World Cup and the U.S. in it, and everybody being excited about it was 2014. Like, I feel like there was a lot more buzz. We had the World's game and like your local team or whatever.
certainly the last time there was a summer World Cup with the U.S. in it.
And so
2014.
that was like, I feel like there was real buzz and connection between like soccer fans of both things. I remember watching games at the tailgate, watching like it was really fun. And I think there's a chance for people to become new fans of soccer. There's a chance for people to become like who are fans of an event to do things. And there's also a chance for people who are fans of the US or fans of Spain to get introduced to CFC as well. And CFC kind of taking a step up and a step into rather the role of like soccer facilitator is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I am looking forward to it, even though right now I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I think that's fair. And one of us had to be slightly negative towards it. Otherwise we would have just been agreeing about it.
Well, who was that going to be? I mean,
Well, it's usually Matthew being negative
Matthew.
and grumpy, but you did a great job.
okay, you're welcome.
I think that's it, right?
Yeah, I think so too.
Listeners, thank you.
except for we talk about the Premier League.
And the Spurs may be going down.
I'm not.
Listen, you can talk about your championship, and I'll talk about my championship.
There we go. I was going to hit Sandra's trombone, but I won't. Remember, we love likes, comments, subscribes, especially likes. If you would throw a thumbs up on the YouTube, that would make us really happy. Come to the women's first game in particular away. Let's start the season off right. We love you. We will catch up with you soon. Peace.